Dímelo mi gente. You know the intro. I'm gonna not say this again. Blah 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 blah. Cultural appropriation joke. Whatever. I'm not gonna go. ¿Cómo está? No, I'm not doing that no more. The more I keep hearing that, dímelo gente, ¿cómo estás? Goddamn, am I saying this intro? I'm just saying dímelo mi gente, man. Whatever. We're gonna stop. This is a combat kickback. This is for UFC 303. Now you're probably wondering why come I didn't make a prediction video for this fight, nor did I even bother to even mention it. Well, if you know the story, messed up. Whatever. I'm just whatever. I'm only doing one take. Sorry. If you know anything about this fight card, a lot of fights got canceled. A lot of things got canceled for this fight. They literally had a main event changed. Like a 3-hour main event changed. So this fight was kind of a catastrophe. The second I heard Connor wasn't going to be in the fight, which I wasn't. I mean, there was already rumors about him not coming in, so I wasn't that surprised. And that's how Alex and Yuri, which, that was like the most obvious main event win if you're ever going to think about. Like, how would you not, like, Yuri wasn't going to win that fight. And then Anthony Smith came in and Anthony Smith had 3 opponents change. And then, this card was not the best card, and overall the card wasn't that great. Let's be honest here. It wasn't the greatest card this year, or the greatest card in the past 3 months. Basically, it was not a good card. It's like a C. It's like a D tier card. But like that's what happens when you have big names on your card. When you have like an insanely big name on main events of your card, it usually destroys the prelims and the early prelims and prelims, and the main event's gonna be that great. But I'm gonna talk about the card. I'm not gonna recap every single fight like most losers do on this. I mean, not losers. I need to stop being disrespectful, man. Like most people just recap the fight and like, I think this guy did good in this. Look, I'm just gonna talk about the moments and highlights. All right. 1, I'm gonna talk about Michelle Waterson retiring. Man, it's about time. You're old, like 38, 39 years old. You're a mom. You accomplished so much in the sport, and you weren't winning any fights. And I can tell that by just looking at you, the hardware looks good, but the software is weak. And I don't mean because of intelligence wise. I mean, exteriorly, you're polished. Her hardware is polished. But if you were to do like her physicality and her strength, it's gone. It's gone. And that happens over time and age. And the older you get, the harder it's to compete with some of these younger people. If Michelle Waterson was 5 years younger, she probably would have been that girl. But now, no. Her body ain't the same. Exteriorly, she looks good. Exteriorly, she looks very good. Phenomenal. But it's not the same. The athleticism isn't there. The strength isn't there. The speed isn't there. The eyesight there. She has... Her hardware aesthetically looks polished. But the hardware, like, usage-wise, is just isn't there. And also her software is weak because now she can't. You can tell that when the fighter gets old, their perception of range and distance starts to be a little off. That's why they can be bums. But against someone good, it's not there. That was one of the hardest things to see. Didn't she retire as she should? Unfortunately, she didn't get a win. The harsh reality about combat sports is you don't get the fairy tale win. The fairy tale story. There is never going to be. It's very rare to have a fairy tale ending. And also, the end of one fighter who I think they were trying to make her a star, but that failed. But the end of a star, a growth, a new one. That's right. Payne Talbot. I knew about this dude when I saw him, destroy Big Brother Cameron Simon. It was trash because South Africans, I don't know how they can't fight. That's all I gotta say. That's how you know who I'm picking in the UFC 305. Yeah, you already know who I'm picking in 305. But after Talbot destroyed that dude, and I saw him against this Giannis guy, this French dude, and he just put him out with the 1-2. That just kind of shows you just how special this dude is. This dude's strong. He's athletic. He has insanely good hardware. And his software is also phenomenal too. I just want to see more of this dude. I want him to fight again, and I want to see him fight again maybe November, maybe December. I think that'll be a good time for him to come back. I want to stay active. I think he's ready. I think I think he's ready for like some very top opponents. I think he needs a top, maybe someone like, I know you don't get ranked until you're like 17, but there is a ranking system. I think he needs to fight like a 17 or 18 dude, and if he beats one of them, he needs a top 15 guy. He is too good to not be in the top. He's already 8-0, and if you're 8-0 in the UFC, you deserve someone in the top 20s. Not even the top, someone in the top like teens, like 17 or 18. He needs something like that, and he's making these fights look easy. That's what I think. Don't pull a Sean O'Malley and make him be a bunch of bums, and then give him a number one contender, and he barely wins, and he fights another bum at the defense. I'm talking about you, freaking Cheeto Vera. You freaking bum. But yeah, and the rest of the card was except for that one dude, you know, Gene, I think they call him Jean. It says G-E-A. Gene Silva, when he knocked out that one dude who, I don't know, had a buddy of mine to watch fights with only, and he thought this dude Gene Silva was fighting was going to be good, but I was like, I don't know, man. The last time I saw him fight, he got destroyed by some unorthodox light-skinned dude, and if you can't be an unorthodox fighter, that just tells me your fighting IQ is low. And I was right, he got slept. I picked Silva to win too. So after that, not much happened. This card was pretty terrible. Arnold Arlovski retired, man. And I don't know why the dude I was watching fights with was just telling me, oh yeah, man, Andre Arlovski's winning. He's not winning, man. Let's do a quick check. We're gonna check this. Let's just check if he's winning. Yeah, so Andre Arlovski's on a 4-fight losing streak. I don't know what the hell this dude's talking about, but that man, oh man, the man who was watching fights start with is an idiot. Okay, we just confirmed that Andre Arlovski is not winning fights. And he should just retire. You're like 40 years old, dude. 45, man. Just retire. You got no reason to be fighting. So, oh yeah, Joe Pfeiffer just knocked out some dude who wasn't ranked. You know, he said, I have power. What's good power? He has good power. Dude, does he hit harder than Francis Ngannou? No, because, you know, Jack Hermanson proved that he don't. Now we're going to get to the main event. We're going to talk about Ian Gary versus MVP. I'm being honest with you, man. I think Ian Gary is the most delusional fighter in the UFC. He did not rock MVP. He actually couldn't stand with MVP. It just proved everything I said. Ian Gary, he is slow. He has no... I don't know why didn't he try a leg kick. I don't know why he didn't try to go for leg kicks against what's-his-face when he's just standing right there. He didn't throw leg kicks, but like every time he tried to strike, he got pieced up. There was a difference in speed. He wasn't fast enough to keep up with MVP, and or he didn't... I don't know why he didn't throw leg kicks. He had that like generic. He has like a good Muay Thai stance, but it's like if you're gonna have a basic Muay Thai stance, you gotta fight with the basic Muay Thai stance. You know, he should have leg kicked him. That's what what's his face did, and that's how he beat MVP. He didn't leg kick him. That's a fault number one. You couldn't keep up with him with the hands because your boxing is. Ian Gary has the worst boxing in the UFC at welterweight. Those hands do not exist. He doesn't have it, man. I know he has a knockout against a guy who looked like he was swimming when he was punching, but like, let's be real here. Ian Gary, man, that proved that he couldn't compete with the best. He's not the best striker in this division at all. He's far from it. Leonardo will destroy him, and I think Shavkat will eat him alive. And also, he pulled the guard. And this is where I agree with Dana here. Dana had a complaint about this because Dana thought this fight was a draw. If MVP would just laid on top of him, he could have won that fight. Easy. 8 minutes. Wow, I do talk too much. MVP would have easily won that fight. Good win, though, for just trying to wrestle. Smart decision. He's smart intelligently, but, you know, if he would have lost, it would have been a fraud check. But, like, the fact that he struggled with MVP and he couldn't get that rear naked choke, man, oh, man, it makes me look at him a little different. I don't think he's ready for the big dogs. And I think he got pushed. And he got pushed. And, he got pushed. I don't think he's ready. He fought intelligently deficient opponents and he got pushed. And then now I'm just gonna skip the rest because none of the rest of the cards are horrid. I don't think you guys care about Anthony Smith terrible fight or Bruno Silva at the cut. We're gonna talk our Dan Ige again. I don't care about those fights. We're just gonna go about the main event. We're gonna talk about Akbarov versus Yuri Prochazka when he knocked him out in 13 seconds in the second round. So I'm just gonna say this: good performance by Alex. There was nothing I saw wrong. But I'm gonna comment about Yuri's statement when he said Alex used Shama magic to beat him, and he shouldn't come in with rituals and stuff like that. Okay, or we're just gonna okay. I had a remember Jeffrey, the guy who co-host with me back in the day. He agreed with Ian. He's like, yeah, Shama Magic, we're Haitian, we use voodoo. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna stop this right here. We're gonna stop this right here, all right? We're gonna stop this. I'm just gonna answer. I'm gonna answer it too. There was no Shama magic used. You wanna know why Alex beat him? Well, there's obvious things, and I think I alluded this to one of my videos. It was a combat kickback video. It was episode 38, combat kickback episode 11, and I alluded to why a lot of guys do MMA, and I said these are like the top 3 dudes and why they do MMA, and I say Yuri is one of the 3. Okay, there's only 3 people who do MMA, and I alluded to the episode 38, combat kickback EP11, and near the end, I think it was around like 28 minutes, 27 minutes, around that area. You should go watch that episode. It was actually, I didn't like my voice inflection on that, but I kind of like it here. So we're gonna go back and watch that episode. I think that episode was greatly summoned it, and I'll just say synopsis of it later on. But I'm gonna say this right now. There wasn't a single black magic used by Pereira. You wanna know why Pereira beat you? You wanna know why? I know the secret to why Pereira beat Yuri so easily, and it's not hard and it's pretty obvious. Pereira is a kickboxer. Okay, we got that struggle, right? Kickboxing striking is very similar to MMA striking. But what's the difference? Well, there's a difference here. Number 1, and I'm going to say this, number 1. The dudes who do kickboxing striking are dramatically better strikers than anybody the majority of the UFC fighters. All right? Pereira did kickboxing. He's one of the best kickboxers of our generation. He is in the Hall of Fame in Glory, which is one of, if not the biggest kickboxing promotion in the world. He fought there. He became a multiple defensive champion, and he became champ in 2 divisions and defended the belt. The man is credited. I think he had 19 amateur or 10 amateur. He had 10 amateur kickboxing fights or more. I don't know. He had a lot of amateur kickboxing fights. And then he also competed with the best of the best. He even beat your boy Izzy twice in kickboxing. He knocked him out the last time they fought in kickboxing. Okay. Alright. We got that settled. We got that settled on why Pereira beats you. The man knows all the fundamentals of kickboxing. He knows how to strike. And also, the man started off as a boxer. So when you see him good with his hands, he learned the fundamentals of how to keep your hands up, how to bob and weave, how to throw left, how to throw right, how to move. He learned if you watch any kickboxing bout and you watch an MMA striking bout, just them striking and watch them, you're gonna realize that, oh, okay, it's very similar. They throw leg kicks at each other. The only difference is they don't throw elbows. So basically, it's basically like PFL. It's basically PFL striking. So if you see him strike, you're gonna realize that Pereira is actually technically good. He has movements, he throws leg kicks, he checks kicks, he throws help, he moves, he keeps his hands up. And then you watch guys in MMA, you realize that, oh, these guys are like amateurs. They can't really strike. They just throw their hands and hope it lands. Tricks. So when you see them, so that just shows you that there's a difference there. Like, Pereira actually throws jabs instead of just throwing everything into his hands. Number 2, in Pereira, there's no basic striking. When you put your hands out, put it back in. Just as fast as you put it out, it's just as fast as you put it back in. Okay? That's basic strikes, basic boxing. We teach that to 5-year-olds. Basic maneuvers. Put your hands up to keep defense. That's what Pereira did in the rematch. He kept his hands up this time. Even the announcers noticed he was keeping his hands up. When you try to flurry in, he almost caught you with a hook. Number 3, proper head movement. If you look at Pereira's kickboxing, he properly does. He doesn't lean forward and has all those exaggerated head movements, like I said before in episode 38, combat kickback episode 11. You guys were watching that whole thing. That's pretty good. Ignore that whole black space. I need to fix my editing. Leave me alone. I mean, the editor needs to fix their editing. Yeah, the editor needs to fix their editing. Yeah. What are you doing, man? How much we paying you? But basic things, basic mechanics and basic movements that I'm starting to see, that you're going to see and you realize this man, he just does unpredictable things, like random things that catches a bunch of these dudes, because these dudes are not technically sound. They don't know the basic things. Keep your hands up. They don't know how to properly move. They don't know how to turn their hands if they're punching to this way they can generate more power. If you ever watch Pereira, he turns his hands when he hits you, which generates more power. They don't practice distance of range. They don't know how to check kicks. They don't do any of this, man. And I alluded to my video episode 38. I said this. The reason why Izzy became champion by just jabbing and leg kicking, because he knows these dudes are garbage at striking, and their wrestling is not even at. Is like borderline. It's like lower JV. Majority of these guys. So I don't understand why you guys are just thinking it was black magic. No, the reason why he lost is because Pereira is actually a good kickboxer and a good striker, and he knows how to strike. And you, the idiot, Yuri, the idiot, wanted to strike with him. And you're so, and I said this before episode 38 about the grappling. You guys are not enthusiastic. You guys don't know how to set up. You guys don't even know how to grapple. But it didn't even work because Pereira, man, oh man, you guys did MMA for how many years? You guys don't know how to do a proper takedown. Like, you guys don't know how to do a proper leg check. I'm talking to you. This tells me that you've been fighting bums your whole career, and you have a team full of yes men. You need to leave that camp. Put on the boxing gloves. Go in there, learn basic boxing. Go to Penn State. Go to Pennsylvania, Penn State with Bo Nickel, and learn how to wrestle. Okay? Learn the basic double leg, how to get their hands up, how to change your levels, how to move. Like, you need to learn some basic stuff, man. Like, this is actually embarrassing. Like, I think the MMA Guru even said this in his video, man. I don't know why he thought you were going to win, but it's like, no, there was nothing you had that was going to win, because let's be real here. You are intelligently deficient. You're an intelligent deficient fighter. You're an idiot. You're dumb. So go get out of your way and learn the bare basics in striking. Blocking punches with your chin is not gonna work, okay? You're using pads to hit your chin, bro. You're never gonna. It's not black magic. It's just you're an idiot. You're just dumb, dude. You're just dumb, and you got lucky because you're fighting a bunch of other dumb dudes. And you're just the more resilient out of the dumb dudes. That's the only reason why you win. You're just the more resilient one. Like, you were losing to Rakic until you caught him off guard. If Rakic had like some power and learned how to turn his hands into like his punches, probably would have won. But like, you caught him off guard. You're just a lucky fighter. You're a lucky fighter who's also resilient. Now when the luck fades and you get to see who you are, you get to see how bad it is. Just like Tony Ferguson, all luck and just resilient and nothing else and just that's it. When you're forced to actually show off your technique and skills, you don't got any. You fight like a movie. You fight like you're in a movie. That shit don't work in real life. Learn some basics. And that's all I gotta say about this. The card was okay, man. You idiots! Like I said before, watch episode 3. Combat Kickback episode 11, 38, episode 38, at podcast episode 38, Combat Kickback episode 11. I basically go way more in depth on the 3 kind of fighters. Yuri was just a dude who apparently has a kickboxing background. I don't know who taught him how to kickbox. I mean, Yuri's kickboxing is just as valid as Pereira's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The Jiu-Jitsu black belt, like, it's just as valid. We're just gonna say that, man. That's all I gotta say. That's the end of the episode. All right, ciao.